The hidden mystery in millennia-old traditions. Imagine for a moment that every time you blow out the candles on your birthday cake, you are taking part in a ritual with deep roots in one of humanity's oldest civilizations. What we now see as a simple family celebration may hold secrets that go back more than 3,500 years, connecting us directly to the mysteries of ancient temples and prophecies forgotten by time. This is the extraordinary story of how an archaeological discovery revolutionized our understanding of humanity's most intimate traditions, revealing that what we do on our birthdays is not just a party, but the unconscious preservation of a millennia-old prophecy that may change our perception of humanity's destiny. The lost origins of birthday candles. To understand this incredible revelation, we must first examine how birthday candle traditions arose. Most people believe this practice began with the ancient Greeks, who offered round cakes with lit candles to the goddess Artemis. However, recent discoveries suggest that the roots of this tradition are far deeper and more mysterious. Archaeologists have found evidence that civilizations predating the Greeks already used candles in rituals related to birth and the passage of time. These practices were not merely celebrations, but sacred rituals carrying profound prophetic meanings about humanity's future. The most intriguing element of these findings is that different cultures, separated by thousands of kilometers and centuries, developed strikingly similar traditions involving candles and birth celebrations. This suggests that there may have been a common source for these practices, an ancestral tradition that spread across the ancient world, carrying an encrypted message. The discovery that changed everything. In 2019, a team of international archaeologists working on an excavation in the Middle East made a discovery that would forever change our understanding of birthday traditions. In an underground temple dated to around 1500 BCE, they found clay tablets containing inscriptions in an archaic form of cuneiform writing. These tablets described in detail a ritual called the counting of the sacred flames, which involved lighting candles not only to mark an individual's birth, but also to activate a kind of cosmic counter that would record each soul arriving in the world. According to the texts, once a specific number of souls had been counted, a great transformation would take place within humanity. What made this discovery even more extraordinary was that the tablets contained complex mathematical calculations and astronomical references suggesting that the ancients not only knew about these rituals, but also knew exactly when the prophecy would be fulfilled. And when modern specialists analyzed the numbers, they pointed to a date that left everyone astonished. Deciphering the language of the ancients. Translating the tablets was a long and meticulous process involving linguists, mathematicians, and astronomers from around the world. The inscriptions contained multiple layers of meaning, combining literal language with numerical symbolism and astronomical references. The main text spoke of guardians of the flame tasked with keeping a specific tradition alive through generations. These guardians were not necessarily aware that they were fulfilling a prophetic role. They simply followed practices that felt natural and enjoyable to them. The prophecy described how each candle lit to celebrate a birth would send an ethereal spark to a cosmic repository. When this repository reached its maximum capacity, marked by a specific number of sparks accumulated over millennia, what the texts called the Great Awakening of Collective Consciousness would occur. The prophetic calculations and their implications. The most fascinating part of the discovery was the mathematical calculations found on the tablets. The ancient scribes had developed a complex system to predict when the prophecy would be fulfilled, based on global population, birth rates, and the continued practice of the candle ritual. According to their calculations, adjusted for our modern understanding of mathematics and demographics, the cosmic repository would reach full capacity sometime in the 21st century. More specifically, the numbers suggested that the saturation point would be reached after approximately 100 billion birthday candles had been lit throughout human history. Modern statistics on birthday celebrations, combined with historical population estimates, suggest that we are dangerously close to this number. Some researchers believe we may already have crossed the prophetic threshold, while others calculate that it will happen within the coming decades. The science behind the prophecy. Although it may sound fantastic, some aspects of the prophecy find echoes in modern scientific discoveries. Quantum physics has demonstrated that consciousness can influence reality at a fundamental level, and neuroscience has uncovered mysterious connections between different human brains, suggesting the existence of a kind of collective consciousness field. Researchers studying the prophecy theorize that the candle ritual may work as a form of unconscious collective programming. Each time someone blows out birthday candles while making a wish, they may be contributing to a form of collective intention that, accumulated over millennia, could actually influence the evolution of human consciousness. This idea is not as far-fetched as it might initially seem. Studies on the observer effect in quantum physics show that consciousness can affect physical reality. If thousands of generations of humans have unconsciously participated in a ritual of collective intention, the cumulative effects could indeed be transformative. Hidden clues in popular traditions. A deeper analysis of birthday traditions around the world reveals intriguing clues that support the authenticity of the prophecy. For example, the number of candles traditionally placed on birthday cakes corresponds to a person's age, naturally creating a numerical progression that would feed the cosmic counter described in the ancient tablets. The act of making a wish before blowing out the candles also takes on new meaning in light of the prophecy. According to the ancient texts, these wishes are not merely individual desires, but contributions to a library of human aspirations that would shape the nature of the foretold transformation. Even seemingly minor traditions, such as singing happy birthday or clapping after the candles are blown out, may have their roots in ancient rituals designed to seal and send the energy generated during the ceremony to its cosmic destination. Additional archaeological evidence. Since the initial discovery, archaeologists have found similar evidence in other parts of the world, suggesting that the prophecy of the candles was not known to just one civilization, but was preserved and transmitted through multiple ancient cultures. In Mayan ruins in Central America, glyphs have been discovered that appear to describe counting rituals related to sacred lights. In ancient China, Taoist texts refer to candle-lighting practices meant to nourish the celestial dragon, a metaphor some scholars interpret as a reference to the same prophecy. Even in cultures that had no direct contact with one another, such as Australian Aboriginal peoples and Arctic Inuit communities, there are traditions involving lights and birth celebrations that share surprisingly similar elements with the practices described in the Middle Eastern tablets. The role of candles in the evolution of consciousness. The prophecy suggests that candles are more than simple decorative objects. They are spiritual antennas that capture and transmit human intention energy. Fire, according to ancient beliefs, was the element that connected the material and spiritual worlds, making it the perfect medium for sending messages between planes of existence. When a child blows out birthday candles, they are not just making a wish, they are taking part in a cosmic act of communication, linking their individual consciousness with humanity's collective consciousness. Each extinguished candle adds its contribution to the great project of human evolution described in the prophecy. The choice of the birthday moment for this ritual is no coincidence either. A birthday marks the exact moment a new consciousness entered the world, making it the ideal time to register this addition to the human family in the universal cosmic counter. Implications for our era. If the prophecy is correct, and we are close to the saturation point of the cosmic repository, it would mean we are living in one of the most significant periods in human history. The transformation promised by the ancient texts would not be gradual, but a quantum leap in humanity's collective consciousness. Some researchers speculate that signs of this transformation may already be appearing. The global rise of awareness about environmental issues, human rights, and global interconnectedness may be evidence that humanity is beginning to awaken to a more unified and compassionate perspective. The information age, which has allowed instant communication between billions of people, can be seen as technological preparation for the prophesied awakening of consciousness. For the first time in history, humanity has the means to function as a truly unified collective consciousness. Skeptics and defenders. As expected, the discovery of the candle prophecy has divided the academic community. Skeptics argue that the evidence is circumstantial, and that similarities between ancient cultures can be explained by universal human needs rather than a shared prophetic origin. They point out that rituals involving fire and celebrations are naturally appealing to humans, and that it would be statistically likely for independent cultures to develop similar practices without necessarily sharing a common source. On the other hand, defenders of the prophecy's authenticity argue that the mathematical and astronomical specifics found in the tablets are too precise to be coincidental. They emphasize that the ancients had surprisingly advanced knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, making it plausible that they could also have had insights into collective consciousness patterns. Humanity's future. According to the prophecy, the ancient texts are not specific about exactly what this transformation of consciousness will look like, but they offer intriguing clues. They speak of a time when the children of men will see with one eye and think with one mind, suggesting a level of unity and mutual understanding previously impossible. The prophecy also mentions that this transformation will bring enhanced abilities of intuition, creativity, and emotional connection. Humans would naturally develop a greater capacity for empathy and an instinctive understanding of their interconnectedness with all life on Earth. Interestingly, the prophecy does not describe this change as happening uniformly everywhere at once. Instead, it suggests that it will begin with individuals and communities most aligned with the transformative energies, gradually spreading through consciousness connections until encompassing all of humanity. Modern evidence of the transformation. Some researchers studying the prophecy point to modern evidence suggesting the transformation may have already begun. Studies of collective meditation have shown that groups of people meditating together can produce measurable effects on their surroundings, including reductions in local crime rates and improvements in community well-being. The growing popularity of spiritual practices, yoga, meditation, and holistic therapies can be seen as signs that humanity is naturally moving toward a more integrated consciousness. The increasing focus on sustainability and environmental responsibility also suggests a shift toward collective thinking rather than extreme individualism. Even developments in technology may be serving the prophecy's purposes. Social media and global communication platforms are creating an infrastructure that allows collective consciousness to manifest in practical ways, enabling coordinated social movements and rapid shifts in global attitudes. The role of each individual. According to the prophecy's interpretation, every person who takes part in the tradition of blowing out birthday candles contributes to this great project of human evolution. This means that each of us plays an active, albeit unconscious, role in transforming global consciousness. This perspective adds a new layer of meaning to our personal birthday celebrations. We are not just marking another year of life, but participating in an ancient ritual that connects our individual experience to the collective destiny of humanity. For those who choose to consciously embrace this role, the prophecy suggests it is possible to amplify one's contribution through deliberate intention during the candle ritual. Instead of making purely personal wishes, we can include aspirations for the well-being of humanity as a whole. Birthdays, as sacred rituals. The discovery of the prophecy has led some people to approach birthday celebrations with new reverence and awareness. They see each lighting of candles as a sacred act, connecting the celebrant with thousands of generations of ancestors who participated in the same ritual. This perspective transforms a simple birthday cake into a modern altar, and the blowing out of candles into a form of collective prayer. The moment of making a wish becomes an opportunity to communicate with higher forces and consciously contribute to humanity's evolution of consciousness. Some families have begun to incorporate elements of reverence and gratitude into their birthday celebrations, taking a moment to reflect on their connection with the long lineage of celebrants who came before them and those who will come after. The mathematics of transformation. The calculations found in the ancient tablets include complex formulas linking the number of candles blown out to changes in global consciousness density. According to these equations, there is a critical point where the accumulation of intentions and ritual energies reaches a tipping point, catalyzing an irreversible transformation. Modern mathematicians studying these formulas have been astonished by their sophistication. They incorporate principles only formally discovered by Western science in the 20th century, including aspects of chaos theory and complex systems dynamics. The equations suggest that the transformation will not occur gradually, but as a sudden phase shift, similar to how water instantly turns to vapor when reaching its boiling point. Once the critical number of candles has been blown out, the change in human consciousness will be rapid and irreversible. Preparing for the transformation. For those who take the prophecy seriously, the question naturally arises of how to prepare for the promised transformation. The ancient texts offer some guidance, emphasizing the importance of open-mindedness, compassion, and connection with nature. The prophecy suggests that those most prepared for the transformation will be people who have already cultivated qualities such as empathy, environmental awareness, and a genuine interest in the well-being of others. These individuals will serve as anchor points for the new consciousness, helping to stabilize and integrate the changes as they occur. Practices such as meditation, contemplation in nature, and community service are recommended as ways to align with the transformative energies. The goal is not to force the change, but to create inner conditions that allow for a smooth transition when it happens. Conclusion: the legacy of the eternal candles. The 3,500-year-old prophecy hidden within birthday candles invites us to fundamentally reconsider the meaning of our most basic traditions. What seemed to be a simple family celebration reveals itself as participation in a millennia-long project of human consciousness evolution. Whether we take the prophecy literally or view it as a powerful metaphor, it reminds us that our individual actions are connected to larger patterns of meaning and purpose. Every candle blown out, every wish made, every celebration shared contributes to the collective fabric of human experience. Perhaps the true power of the prophecy lies not in its literal accuracy, but in its ability to awaken our awareness of life's interconnectedness and our role as active participants in shaping humanity's future. When we blow out our next birthday candles, we can do so knowing we are taking part in something much greater than ourselves, a sacred ritual connecting past, present, and future in an eternal dance of light and intention. The next time you see someone blow out birthday candles, remember that you may be witnessing not just a personal celebration, but a sacred moment in humanity's great journey toward its prophetic destiny. And when it is your turn to blow out the candles, do so knowing that your light joins that of billions of other celebrants past and future, all contributing to the greatest project ever conceived, the transformation of humanity itself. In every dancing flame and every whispered wish, the ancient prophecy continues to unfold, carrying us inexorably toward the awakening moment our visionary ancestors foresaw millennia ago. Birthday candles, simple as they may seem, carry within them humanity's destiny, a light that never goes out, a counter that never stops, a promise yet to be fulfilled.